Hi folks, and here's the update for the 17th of March, and as you can see it's been a cracking day. £427 is a figure not to be sniffed at. This is a little more than the normal update, however, because there's a few things I need to unpack for you today. First of all, you'll see a figure there, the minus 100 jumping out at you. That Dutch, or that trade, was a complete failure. But I'll come back to that. These will happen, but I think we've done something like 53 races this week, and that's the first complete failure. So they do happen. You just have to grin and bear it when they do. But I'll come back to the reason for that in a sec. Also down the right hand column there, the strategy column, you'll see that there's some green up for £15. The reason for that is on those races there was actually 3 selections in the Dutch. So the stake money was spread more thinly across the runners, which of course would result in the overall profit for the Dutch, if you let it run to its conclusion, was less. So any particular runner would have to drop that much more in running in order to hit the target profit. So by looking for a smaller profit, you can help to alleviate that. So that's where the green up for £15 is coming from. But you can still see that the returns on those was actually near the £20 mark, or just over. So that worked out okay. The other thing worth flagging up is that excellent result at Down Royal in the 550, where there's £104 profit. I don't know if any of you have seen the comment from Mark Hammond in one of the previous videos. Thanks for that, Mark. Where Mark was asking about trading out for a red position, i.e. a guaranteed loss in running. Now I don't do that. From past experience I've found that too many times I've traded out for a red only for my selection to go on in running to reach what would have been a profitable position. So I no longer do that. Instead, if that's an issue for you, reduce your overall stake and just let the thing run to the end. And that's exactly what happened in that race at Down Royal in the 550. 2 selections in that race, and as soon as the race jumped, the market profit immediately went red, and for much of the race it was sitting between minus 50 and minus £75 based on an overall £100 stake for the Dutch. And it was like that all the way virtually to the end until the last 30 seconds, when one of my selections, the odds on that just fell off a cliff. It came plummeting in, triggering the strategy to green up. But of course that green up process found itself getting matched at a much lower price than it needed to be. And that's where the £104 comes from. So that's an excellent illustration of why I don't green up, or sorry, red up, as you might say, in a race, because that type of thing happens. And a similar thing has happened in virtually all the races that you've seen this week. I've been using a green up for £20, for example, and if you scan through all of those, even just on this page here, you'll see not all of them are sitting at £20 profit. There's 27s, the high 20s, there's a 46 there, a 35 right at the very end, and 87 in the last race at Wolverhampton. So again, it's up to you, whatever risk you want to take. For me personally, trading out for a loss in running is counterproductive. You get much better return if you just let them go. And that actually leads me on to another point as to why I use an automated strategy to trade out. And this applies irrespective of whether I'm Dutching to trade or backing to lay or dobbing or whatever strategy I'm using. Take dobbing for an example. I'm sure we're all familiar with the idea of dobbing. If you stick £100 on at the odds of 10, and then you lay that runner, you lay that runner at odds of 5 for £200, and you put that lay in the market to be taken in running. That money is just sitting there waiting for the market to come and gobble that up. And if you do it that way when you're dobbing, you'll only ever double your money when that gets taken. In other words, you'll only make the £100 each time minus your commission. Whereas if you use an automated strategy to monitor the market and fire a bet in, a closing lay bet in whenever your target profit is reached, the vast majority of times you'll end up getting a better price and a better profit. There will be situations where the price might drop to the halfway point, and then a dob, the traditional way where you have money waiting for it, gets taken, and then the odds go back out. Whereas with an automated strategy, the strategy may be triggered, but the odds have gone back out before that bet hits the market, and so you'll end up still losing. But by doing it with an automated strategy, the extra money that you earn, that you win when it does go through that trigger point, far outweighs the odd time where you lose even though your bet has been triggered. So that's why I use automation to close my trades in running, rather than putting in bets, generally speaking, in the market waiting for them to be matched. So anyway, yes, as I say, another cracking day, lots to talk about. I hope you enjoyed that, and give it a try next time you're trading, and let me know what happens. Cheers.